Ethan had always loved the old amusement park. It wasn't the most popular place in town, but it had a charm to it. The kind of charm that comes from faded lights and rusty rides that had seen better days. Every summer, Ethan and his friends would visit for one last ride before school started. They'd laugh, joke, and make memories. But this year, things were different. This year, Ethan was alone. The park had closed down years ago, but tonight something strange happened. As Ethan drove past the entrance, he saw the gates were open. The lights on the Ferris wheel flickered on, casting long shadows across the empty lot. He couldn't resist. He parked his car and walked through the gates. The place was eerily quiet. The sounds of the city were muffled, as if the air itself was holding its breath. The Ferris wheel creaked as it slowly spun, its lights flickering in and out. Ethan's footsteps echoed on the cracked pavement as he wandered deeper into the park. He reached the old roller coaster, its towering structure looming over him. He smiled, remembering how much fun he'd had riding it as a kid. But tonight, something was off. The ride was moving. The cars creaked along the tracks, even though no one was in sight. A voice, barely above a whisper, drifted to him from the darkness. "Come ride with me." Ethan froze. He turned around, but there was no one there. Just the empty park, bathed in the pale light from the Ferris wheel. His heart raced, but he couldn't bring himself to leave. The pull of the ride was too strong. He climbed into one of the empty cars and strapped himself in. The ride began to move slowly, dragging him up the first hill. The sound of the chains pulling the car upward was deafening in the silence. At the top, the world below him seemed distant, almost unreal. But before he could process it, the car plunged down the track, faster and faster. The wind screamed in his ears, and the world blurred around him. Then, as the ride slowed to a stop, the lights flickered one last time and went out. Everything went black. Ethan's heart pounded. He tried to move, but he couldn't. The restraints were tight, holding him in place. Panic rose in his chest as he realized he wasn't alone. The voice returned, low and chilling. "You should never have come back." The lights flickered on again, but the park was no longer empty. Figures, pale and twisted, stood all around him, their eyes locked on him with empty, soulless stares. Ethan screamed, but no sound came out. The ride moved again, slowly, taking him deeper into the darkness. And this time, there was no way out.